I'm back with another 5 minute tier list. This time I'm doing the commons and uncommons for the upcoming set. I've separated them out into 3 tiers. I have a good tier where I can definitely see these seeing competitive play and making top cuts at regional license exam events. I have a fine tier. I either think these are very nuanced cards that only work in certain characters, or they're more sideboard tier level cards. And then I have a less than fine tier where I would be very surprised if these see competitive play. I think these are more sealed event cards that I can see seeing play. So some general things that I noticed about these common and uncommons is that the good tier is completely filled up by the core character kits. Most of the back page cards I found were either fine or less than fine. However, we have all of Nejire's kit. All 5 common and uncommon cards make the good tier. We have 4 out of 5 for Rappa. We have 3 out of 5 for Deku, and 3 out of 5 for Amajiki. So I think that the design team did a wonderful job for the core character kits. And then the back page, to me, left something to be desired. They were foundations that had interesting ideas, or attacks that had interesting ideas, but there wasn't quite enough value to actually make them see play. So I'll just point out a few of these that I'm most excited for and a few ideas that I have around them. Learning to Harden, I love for Bakugo 1. You can commit it for -2 speed or +2 damage, and then when you destroy it, you get to draw a card. So I think this is maybe an instant 4 of, at least 3 of, for Bakugo 1, being able to commit 2 damage, then you destroy it with Bakugo for 2 more damage, and then you draw a card. Bad Guy Roundup is a 3-low 4, and as soon as you play it, your opponent's discarding momentum. It has the Fury keyword, and most of the time it's going to draw you a card. So we've seen the life symbol. I can't think of the name right now, but I think it's a 4-low 4 that makes when you play it, your rival discards a momentum. We've seen that see a lot of competitive play, and this is very, very similar stat-wise, maybe even does a little more. So I definitely think this will be in a lot of lists. This Deku card is really here primarily for the Deadlock Enhance. I just love I love the flavor of this. The Deadlock, your rival commits one rival, you commit one rival foundation, flip one rival foundation, destroy one rival foundation. It's just they kept making it better and better and better. And then I also really like that it's named Plummeting Punch, so it's him falling from the air. So it starts out as a high attack, and then you can flip a foundation to make it a low attack. I think that's awesome design. I love the flavor when it's good stats. It's a one low block. I can definitely see it finding play. For this one, I love having a repeatable -speed, and it doesn't have to commit itself. It's discarding a card, which is a heavy cost, but on the life symbol, we draw so many cards that it doesn't feel like a heavy cost, especially when you have access to passing the torch, and you can discard yourself with this down to 0 and then commit it and draw 2. As for Rappa's kit, I think Flurry of Punches is a really cool setup card for Reciprocal Burst to give it +3 speed. And then Rappa really doesn't care that you gave it the extra difficulty. He'll just destroy for +2. Knuckle Sandwich is just good stats. I think this is Season Brawler. No, that's this one, Season Brawler. Looking for a Challenge. I love this as stun hate. I think it maybe is the best stun hate on these symbols. Maybe the best stun hate in the game, other than it can't be fixed. Saying that if you commit this card, I'm going to get +3 to my next check, and that doesn't even have a flip cost, so I'll do that every single turn when you stun me. And then it's offensive enhance. Isn't that bad? Commit, flip, your next check gets +2. That can really help you when you're going for the win on your kill string. Season Brawler, drawing a card is hard to be bad. Same story here. Draw 2, discard 2, especially an Air Asui 5/5. That feels really, really nice to continue to sculpt your hand. I really like this Nejire attack. Lose 1 health, it becomes a 4 mid-6, and then it can also, if it's blocked, it's going to give your next attack +1 to the check for every attack that's been blocked that turn. I think that's really, really strong. I can definitely see it finding play. In fact, I just played the other day against an Air Fury build from All Might 3, and this card was putting in a lot of work. Nejire, I love this. It maybe not on the life symbol to give +1 damage and gain 1 health, but I could definitely see it finding play on the air symbol, especially in characters like Air Asui. Ryukyu trainees. Uh, I debated on putting this into the fine tier, but I convinced myself it could go into the good tier by being able to build Award the Victor from your hand very quickly on your turn. So you could use Award the Victor and then build in another Award the Victor or something like that, getting a 3 diff in very fast. You can build it in with Coda. Um, for this one, I really like the idea of giving Indiscriminate Shock EX. That's my primary idea of having it here. The Amajiki throw, -1 speed. You know it's going to go to your momentum, and then it can give -1 speed to a rival attack. And it's only a 3 diff. I think that's hard to be bad. I really like that they made the Amajiki of the big 3 foundation for the minus speed. I did like that they didn't give it a max 3. So I could definitely see it finding a flip for -4 speed or flip for -5 speed, which is super strong. The Hojo 0 diff, getting to flip for 2 damage on a lot of these evil builds that are playing from outside their hand. I really like that. Barrier Shield, I think, is very good in our current meta where you have a lot of attacks getting to crazy speed amounts and trying to kill you in one shot. Barrier Shield playing it and saying, oh, it's going to be 0 speed and I'm going to break her to it. And then the offensive enhance isn't that bad either, saying that they can't add cards to their hand during this attack. I can definitely see that if they're at 0 cards in hand, but they have foundations down on the board that draw, and you can just turn those off. Maximum hardening, getting +2 damage, and then sharing 2 symbols with forcing surrender to get out of your card pool. I think that's awesome, especially in 7-handers that want to string a ton of attacks in a turn. Point blank shot, I think, is very, very, very underrated. 3 high 5. It's got breaker. It's going to give all of your future attacks +1 speed. If you block with it, all your rival attacks in the future get -2 speed. I could see this being similar to Ruthless Mockery, where it was a little underrated coming out, and then now you see a Recovery Girl play a Ruthless Mockery, and you just stop attacking and pass your turn. You build and pass, and you say, okay, I'll try to get you next time. I can see this being similar. You block with a point blank shot, and you say, yeah, everything's going to get -2 speed. And then it shares the all symbol with Eraserhead. So you block with this and say, everything's getting -4 speed. I could definitely see that being an immediate turn ender. On the fine category, I think this throw hates just a sideboard tier. It's not doing nearly as much as Faith Shield. You have a lot of cards that you have to build your strategy around them, or they're only for certain characters. Surprise Interception is more a sideboard tier card. The Fat Gum to flip and draw a card. It's a little inconsistent since it only works if your hand size is less. I could see these finding play, but it would take building around them or maybe being in the sideboard. So that's it for my list. Let me know if you think I underrated any cards or if I overrated any cards.